Have you ever been in an English-speaking situation where you felt that you couldn't fully express yourself? You're certainly not alone. I want to introduce you to three people: a software engineer, a physician, and a senior professional, all brilliant at what they do, all being underestimated every day because of how they sound in English. By the end of this video, I'll show you exactly how that changes. This is May. She's a software engineer at a company she worked very hard to get into. She's sharp, prepared, and well respected by people who know her work. But in meetings, she goes quiet. Not because she has nothing to say, she always has something to say, but because by the time she's translated the thought, shaped it into English, checked it, and decided it was safe to say, the conversation has moved on. Someone else has said it, and May sits there feeling invisible, holding an idea that never made it out of her mouth. Then there's Andre. He's a physician. He trained for over a decade. He's meticulous, compassionate, and deeply knowledgeable, but every day, before rounds, he rehearses. He thinks through what he's going to say, how he's going to say it, which words to avoid because they're harder to pronounce, which sentences to simplify so they come out clearly. He prepares twice as long as his colleagues and still walks into every room bracing for the moment someone's expression shifts. That small, subtle recalibration that tells him they've clocked his accent and adjusted their expectations. He goes home exhausted, not from the medicine, from the management of speaking in English. And Fatima. She has a master's degree. She has 15 years of experience in her field. She is, by any measure, an expert. But in job interviews, on calls with senior executives, at conferences where she knows the material better than half the people in the room, she feels like she's auditioning for a level of respect she's already earned. The credential is there. The expertise is there, but somehow the sound of her voice keeps arriving before the substance of what she's saying, and it costs her every time. May, Andre, and Fatima all come from different places, work in different fields, carry different versions of this weight, but they share something: the gap between who they are and the judgment of what people think they are based on their English speaking ability. The gap between what they know and what people hear. Between the life they've built and the life that feels just slightly out of reach because of how they sound in English. If you recognize yourself in any of them, this video is for you. Now, I want to name something because I think once you hear it, a lot of things will make more sense. What Andre experiences every morning before rounds has a name. I call it the performance tax. It's the cognitive and emotional energy you spend every single day managing how you sound, instead of focusing on what you're saying. It's the rehearsing before you speak, the monitoring while you speak, the replaying after you speak, wondering how it landed, whether the accent got in the way, whether you should have said it differently. Native speakers don't pay this tax, they just speak. You're doing two things at once every time in every professional situation: communicating and managing the perception of how you communicate. That is genuinely exhausting work. And most people have been doing it for so long, they've stopped noticing how much it costs them. Here's what makes it harder. The performance tax compounds. The more you pay it, the more you avoid the situations that trigger it. You stop raising your hand in meetings. You let moments pass. You self-edit before you even begin. And avoidance feels like relief in the short term. But over time, it widens the gap between where you are and where your expertise could have taken you by now. This is not a motivation problem. It's not a willpower problem. You cannot out-discipline this tax. The only way to stop paying it is to change the underlying habit, the physical habit of how your mouth, tongue, and breath move when you speak English. This is exactly what willpower cannot do. And it's exactly what the right method, applied consistently over time, can. I'm Rachel. I started my career as an opera singer and a computer programmer, two things that have almost nothing in common, except that both taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. Opera taught me the voice at a physical level, how the body produces sound, how breath and placement and muscle memory shape every word that comes out of your mouth. Programming taught me systems, how to take something genuinely complex and break it into logical, repeatable steps that produce a reliable result. Over time, these two things collided with a third, my passion for language. And for the non-native English speakers I kept meeting, these brilliant, accomplished, interesting people who were being underestimated every day because of how they sounded. And so, Rachel's English Academy was born. Over 50,000 students have come through the Academy, and what I've learned from all of them is this: the problem is almost never effort. May is not lazy. Andre is not careless. Fatima is not uninvested. The problem is the tools they were given, the apps, the group classes, the focus on grammar, reading, and writing. These things were not built to transform English speaking skills. Here's the truth about the American accent most programs don't tell you. Changing the way you speak is a physical process. The habit lives in your body, in your mouth, in your tongue, your muscles, even your mindset. It's been there for decades. You cannot think your way out of it. You cannot will your way out of it in 4, 8, 12 weeks. You have to train your way out of it, focused and consistently with the right method and enough time for your body to actually change. And when that happens, when the physical habit shifts, the performance tax goes down. Not because you're trying harder, but because you don't have to try harder. That's what Rachel's English Academy is built for. It is the habit training program that addresses the physical process. When you join, you start with essentials, 5 to 6 weeks, about 25 minutes a day. Every day you log in, there's exactly one thing waiting for you. I've already decided what it is. You don't waste a single minute figuring out where to go or what to do. You just do the training. You just do the one part for that day. The training combines video, visualization, and a significant amount of focused audio work, listening and speaking. You'll also record yourself regularly because learning to hear your own voice clearly, to analyze it, to catch what's shifting becomes one of your most important skills. After essentials, you move into the daily plan. Same structure, 1 step per day, and this is not a group class, which means there's no getting behind. If life interrupts you for a few days, you come back and pick up exactly where you left off. No lost progress, no starting over. With your subscription, you also get teacher feedback. Real teachers, not AI, watch your recordings and tell you specifically what they hear and exactly what to adjust. I've tested a lot of AI tools for accent feedback, and while they do some things adequately, they miss the nuance that actually matters when it comes to sounding natural and fully human. That feedback is built into your 25 minutes. It's part of what I'm bringing to this. Because here's how I think about the Academy. I take the first half of the responsibility for your transformation, the method, the materials, the structure, the feedback, the guidance. That's all mine. All I ask from you is the second half, the time, about 25 minutes a day. You bring that, I bring everything else. For May, 25 minutes a day is the difference between ideas that stay trapped and ideas that impress people. For Andre, it's the difference between starting every day braced and starting every day ready. For Fatima, it's finally closing the gap between the expert she is and the expert the room recognizes when she walks in. On the first day in the Academy, I have every student do one exercise where they record something very specific. Then, after 6 days of training, they record the same thing, and I ask them to go back and listen to both recordings, watch both videos. And I want them to reflect, did anything change? Does anything sound more natural now? And they're always surprised. Yes, after just 6 days of this focused training, change has happened. They do sound more natural and they do feel more confident.
I didn't expect that change at the beginning. I really noticed the difference by watching the two videos together. It really changed my confidence of speaking English. When I close my eyes and listen to the second video, I'm pretty sure it sounds very native, and that's surprising.
Does it sound more American? Yes, I feel second video sounds more American, like more musical.
It flows way better, it feels way more natural, and yeah, definitely there's not like some huge difference, but there's a big noticeable difference.
Well, I'm happy to say that I do hear the difference between the first video to the second. I'm happy with the results. It's been a great first week.
The average student spends about 6 months in the academy. If you can commit 25 minutes a day for 6 months, you will hear the difference in your voice. You'll feel it in your body. You'll notice it in the way conversations go. The moments that you used to let pass by that now you step into. Many students don't want to stop at 6 months because by then they can feel that it's working and they want more of that feeling. This week I'm running my May sale, 1 week, big discounts, 60% off, 70% off. We have various options, but you can get started for as little as $19 your first month, and that includes community with teacher feedback. Sign up at rachelsenglishacademy.com. Sign up now. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you sign up and don't think this method is right for you, just let us know. Just request a refund and we can take care of that quickly and easily. Visit rachelsenglishacademy.com. You've been carrying this long enough. You bring the time, I'll bring everything else. Let's close the gap.